Hi, I'm John, and welcome back to Dice Paper Miniatures. In today's episode, I'm going to go over the new, recently announced Water Guild, the Mercator Nautica for Necromunda.
So let's begin.
So in one of the new articles today from the Warhammer Community, features the Underhive Informant, Turn the Tide with the Water Guild. So that pretty much says it all right in the title. Let's go ahead and jump to kind of one of the intro flavor texts here. So in case you're wondering why we're fixating on water today, it's nothing to do with the fact that last month we were talking about arson. No, it's because we're seeing more gangs throwing in their lot with the Mercator Nautica, the Water Guild. Yeah, don't groan. We all know what that means. More Nautican siphoning delegations on our turf. As if the slaver entourages weren't bad enough. So yeah, that's kind of an introduction into what we're seeing here in this image. This represents the Mercator Nautica. And I was curious when we saw this image, I think we actually saw this preview of the Water Guild last year. And I was curious how true they would stay to this imagery into the models. And, you know, surprisingly enough, pretty representative of what we see in this sketch, or concept art, if you will. So this is really cool. So for any rookies in the room, the Mercator Nautica controls all of the water on Necromunda, from the sluice runoff that's essential to the bulk industrial process to the recycled stuff we use in the patrol house to make recaf. Since it's such a big business, they're more than happy to grab some ganger to help out while taking those sloshing tanks out to places like the bad zones. Having said that, they do have a strong alliance with Escher gangs, so make sure that you read up on the collated case files on the House of Blades. And of course, all those links go to various products. Way to blend in flavor text with product offerings. Nicely done. In return, they're quite happy to help out the house gangs when the need arises by sending in Nautican siphoning delegation. Typically, these are made up of a Master Nautican, a Siphonite, and a Sub-Nautican. The Master Nautican is usually pretty well equipped, but they prefer to leave the fighting to their underlings. Sub-Nauticans are the divers that keep the cisterns and reservoirs of House Primus functioning, and they wear their armored diving suits even out of the water. Strangest of all are the Siphonites. They spread rumors that those staffs they carry can bleed water from their victims. Interesting. I don't believe them, but don't get too close just in case. I don't want any desiccated enforcers around. And then it goes on, keep your eyes peeled for these folks. And if you are facing up to one of those Subnauticans, make sure that you're leveling the playing field by bringing along an ambot. Now get out there, the Underhive isn't going to police itself. All right, so it's a pretty brief article. But let's be honest, we're all here just to see these guys. So let's see if we can get a slightly bigger image. There we go. Yeah, let's zoom in on these guys. Very cool. So I'm guessing the Siphonite being the one with the really cool kind of crab-legged looking staff. And the Master Nautican has kind of that cowboy hat going on. And of course, the Sub-Nautican is the Ogren in deep diving armor. I mean, these are super cool. Let's go back to that zoomed in picture. Really love the fact that these fit perfectly in the existing Necromunda line. And yet, they still feel a part of the greater Warhammer 40k universe for sure. The Ogre and the Sub-Nautican, that beast is just amazing. All of these have really great kit bashing potential too, which I'm pretty excited about. You could have like a variation of Adeptus Mechanicus for the first two, the Master Nautican and the Siphonite. Heck, you could probably even justify something with that Sub-Nautican for Astra Militarum or Adeptus Mechanicus. But yeah, super, super cool. It's interesting that it seems like all parts of the figure are definitely covered with both the Siphonite and the Master Nautican, yet their feet are exposed. That's cool and disturbing at the same time. Like, why do they have bare feet? Maybe they'll talk about that someday. Probably not. Honestly, I could see them do something like flipper feet so they could like swim into the water, maybe, or just normal boots, right? Just normal footwear. I don't know. It's so obvious they're bare feet. And in a previous video, I talked about how they don't do toenails. And yet, these are the most clothed-like characters you could have, but they got bare exposed feet, and they even went so far as to sculpt the toenails. So touche. No, these look fantastic. You know, you could follow these paint schemes for sure. You know, you wouldn't have to, but I think they make sense. I mean, it's water, and their outfits are kind of bluish. Fair enough. Although the water on Necromunda doesn't look quite as blue as you would like it to be. It looks a little on the green side, but I guess that's to be expected. These are, the hive worlds. But yeah, everything about the designs look well considered, unique, but at the same time feel like they fit in with the greater Warhammer 40K universe. I'll be curious to see, when before the pandemic, they were previewing a lot of potential future options for Necromunda, and the Water Guild was one of them they discussed a long time ago. I believe there were some others. I'd have to go back and look and see if I can find some of those previous articles from about a year and a half ago. But I want to say there were other guilds more than just the Water Guild, and I'll be curious to see if they continue to move forward. They did kind of a sneak preview with what looks like the sub-faction of House of Cawdor, and it looks like they're going to be the Redemptionists, so that will be super cool if we get those here soon. And yeah, in any event, that's it for this preview. Definitely a quick one, but if you're a Necromunda player, definitely one to check out. Well, that's it for this episode. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell, and sharing this video. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting this content out there and helps supports the channel. Thank you so much. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.